Hello everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Chris Algieri, who's a few weeks away from a big matchup in China with Manny Pacquiao, and now that you're transitioning over to what seems to be the harder parts of the camp. I know camp overall is hard, but now it's the final stages. Let me know about what's the difference between the beginning of camp and now these final stages of camp.
The beginning camp is a lot of strength work, a lot of conditioning, a lot of more basic stuff, and then we start to build on technique and strategy. And now this part is just is sparring, which is actually my favorite part. So it's definitely the most difficult. It wears on your body because sparring is tough. But I actually look forward to my training sessions, my sparring sessions.
With the sparring sessions, has it been hard to kind of simulate a guy like Manny? Because there's no Manny. There's only one Manny Pacquiao.
You said it. There's only one Manny Pacquiao. There's nobody out there who fights like him. But we can take different aspects of his style and find partners that have done that. And we have, and my coaches have done a great job doing that. So every session, we're just trying to accomplish certain goals and little checkoffs as we go from week to week and put it all together. And then fight night will be the finished product.
We were just here right now with an assembled group of media, and you mentioned something very interesting because I feel you have a different approach mentally to fights than other fighters, given your background. Mm-hmm. What makes your approach different from other fighters?
I don't concentrate too much on my opponents. I really focus on myself inwardly and think about what my job is, and I'm not really concerned about what they're doing. My job is every day. Every session for me is important. And when you have 2 sessions a day, it's a lot of mental preparation every single day. So I don't think too far ahead and think about what my opponent's doing. There's not enough time for that. I got to focus on what I have. So I think that may be a little bit different than a lot of other athletes who may really be concerned about their opponent, really focus in on their, what their opponent's up to.
Looking at this fight as well, it could go the 12 rounds in a place where it's not home for you. Mm-hmm. In China, I know you being a fighter that you want to be able to dominate and impose your game plan, but it is Manny Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. People have tried to do that, and it doesn't work out that way. Are you, I guess, given that, worried about judges there in Macau, China, and maybe going into a fight where it seems to people watching at home, you may have won, that it won't go your way?
I'm not really overly concerned about that. I'm really just focused on doing what I need to do, and I think if I go out there and I win every round the way that I'm planning to or want to, then it can't be close. I don't plan for close fights. I plan for tough fights, but not for close fights. I'm going out there to win every round. That's how I approach every fight. This fight is not any different than any other fight of my career. I don't want close fights. I want to dominate fights.
Have you already mentally pictured out every single round of that fight?
Not all the way through.
No. What round are you at right now?
With my coaches, we're only in the first half of the fight so far.
So up to 6 so far?
Yeah, even in the sparring. I think we're not far that far. We might be 4 or 5 right now. Mm-hmm. But different parts of a fight are different fights. And you really got to prepare for each phase. And our sparring will coincide with that as well, and the strategy will change, and the different things that we work on in camp. My coaches are very, very specific in our approach.
Now, I know you were a pro kickboxer. Mm-hmm. What's harder, kickboxing or boxing?
The talent pool in boxing is so much bigger that the talent is higher, much higher. But in terms of technique, I mean, kickboxing is more weapons. Mm-hmm. It's not just left hand and right hand; it's left leg and right foot, and kicking's hard. What
do you feel has worked from the world of kickboxing and has translated well into boxing in your eyes?
Well, I had to change definitely a lot of things, technically and physically as I've gone through. But I think really just the preparation, like the lifestyle leading up to a fight and training camps, and then just the whole idea of a one-on-one aspect of it's a fight. Mm-hmm. It's a fight. This isn't a game. And neither one of those sports are games. I didn't play kickboxing, and you don't play boxing. So I think that mental edge has been the biggest part of my help in boxing.
Surprised you didn't make a transition over MMA, because I know you met Luke in China.
Yeah.
And Luke, of course, fights in the UFC. Mm-hmm. Was that ever on your mind when you were making that transition?
No, because I actually grew up, even before kickboxing, I was a boxing fan. Mm-hmm. I grew up watching boxing champions. I wanted to be, I wanted to be a boxing champion. And for me, there was no MMA when I was a kid. So there wasn't that drive to want to be a UFC or MMA fighter.
Maybe in the future, or?
No. I think boxing is the top of combat sports. I really do. I think it's the prettiest and the best and the most highly skilled. So there's no reason for me to backtrack.
Well, Chris, I know you've been getting a lot of media attention, so I'm going to go ahead and hand over these responsibilities to you. Go ahead and cut us out right here. Let the fans know what to expect when you fight Manny Pacquiao.
What's up, guys? Keep checking in. My training camps are open, and I'm posting stuff all the time, so you guys can check out how we're preparing, and check us out on November 22nd on HBO.